All right, I'm just in quantum travel on the PTU while working on trying to figure out the event now that the PTU is not a complete disaster as far as servers go. And ISC dropped. I thought it was going to drop in about an hour, but apparently it's dropping now, which is good for me. Inside Star Citizen, it's titled Alpha 4.6 patch report. We knew this already. It was in the This Week in Star Citizen. So let's just jump right into it. It's only 8 minutes long. Here we go.
Each year of Star Citizen brings with it a new beginning, including new content, new opportunities, and oftentimes a few new ways of doing things. It's an essential element of Star Citizen's DNA, where we don't just build the game out in front of everyone, we continue to review, refine, and redirect our efforts, as well as the very manner in which we make our games along the way. In 2025, this saw the biggest change to our development strategy yet, where new content
How many minutes of this is them patting themselves on the back?
rose to the forefront, while feature
Let's
work
see.
was allowed the time necessary to cook behind the scenes. Where dedicated strike teams were formed to deal with the biggest issues at hand, and the patch cadence changed from once every quarter to once every month. It was an exciting year, and now into 2026, we continue our yearly evolution
It was an exciting year.
as we head into the upcoming Alpha
At
4.6. Now, instead of a patch every month or every quarter, this year we'll introduce a new bi-monthly patch cadence, which is one every 2
Okay.
months for those of you who
So confirming every 2 months. When does this patch come out? Everyone feels like it's coming out soon.
appreciate homonyms. No. That means that you're going to see big releases like 4.6, 4.7, 4.8 and the like in January, March, and May. And
So January, we have to sit with this patch until March. But it's that middle stuff that they do, like the pricing surge thing. How fun will that be in between? We'll see.
so forth and so forth and so forth. And between those patches, we're going to try a new initiative that'll still deliver smaller chunks of in-game content to keep
Yep.
things interesting, like the recent pricing surge on commodities from last week. And in the future, new mission contracts, new loot, and even new spaceships, and all
Okay, all of those things are in-game things. New spaceships is ship sales. But I think that this is a very good attempt at something. We'll see how it plays out. We'll see if the game is strong enough to support this. As of right now, I would say pricing surge is not a thing that is strong enough to support a 2-month patch cadence in comparison to what we had last year. But anybody who looks at last year knows that wasn't sustainable. So every 2 months sounds great. With little bits of content in between, sounds great as well. Let's just see how it plays out. But as an idea, I don't know how you can really argue against it. I think it's perfectly fine.
without the need for a big, mega, full patch release. It's an exciting experiment, and one that
What I'll have to ask is, what about .1s? What about major issues that you run into? Because PTU is not enough. There's nobody tests on the PTU. The testing actually is done on live, and then you drop a .1. That was the whole year last year. That's been every other year prior is, oops, how could we have known? Those moments happen, and now we're stuck with that for 2 months. Before, I was like, hey, it sucks, but it sucks for like a couple weeks. You go into PTU and just do something else while you're waiting for the crappy patch to be uncrappied, and everything was fine. That was like the best part of last year, is even if the patch was horrible, the next patch was just right around the corner. What happens when this doesn't work? Like, what happens when this event is broken? I've already found a bug where like I just didn't get awarded the points on my personal tab, but I got awarded the points in my the bottom 3 tabs for a transport mission. What happens if that starts to happen with all of them, right? Are they going to do a .1? Are they going to change real quick? So it really comes down to how they handle all of that more than anything.
we're eager to undertake as we continue our journey to 1.0 with a year of patches aiming to deliver more feature improvements like inventory rework, crafting, which, if everything works out, should be in tech preview soon or by the time this airs.
It was, and dude, it was great. Like it worked. there was really no major hiccups, I would say.
Instancing, Genesis planets, and more, alongside the content that we showed at CitizenCon Direct, like Rock Cracker, Tactical Strike Groups, and Municipal Works. So, with all that said, let's go ahead now and take a look at some of what Alpha 4.6 has in store for us, and not just with
you asking what Genesis planets are? That is just Planet Tech V5. So, like better biomes and things like that. Possibly with the Starchitect stuff, which means like thousands of little outposts and things like that on the surface. Better distribution of harvestables, making everything look better. Hopefully more performant.
its intended release next week, but throughout this February and into March.
So February and into March.
Up first, the local inhabitants
So this patch comes out next week then, probably.
of Levski are falling sick with a mysterious ailment called the People's Ailment, seemingly caused by the new strain of mold growing in the faulty air filters of Geisen Incorporated. Symptoms include coughing, chest pain, and fatigue. This mold is super resistant and forcing the free and independent people of Levski to reach out to the UEE for help. Now, it's up to contractors like you to race against the clock and save as many folks from fungal fatalities as possible. And, of course, pick up some rewards along.
New armor.
And, of course,
Support unit, it says on it. Oops.
pick up some rewards along the way, like this cool new medical-themed armor set,
Oh, there you go.
med gun, ship paint,
Medical themed armor set. So these are the rewards. But
rewards
I don't know
along
if you
the
caught
way,
it.
like this
This is an Alliance Aid skinned tractor
cool
beam.
new medical-themed
It says
armor
Alliance
set.
Aid on it right there. Dedicated tractor beam as well.
med gun, ship paints, and more.
This is the cargo hauling Apollo, right? This is the Hermes. When he says and more.
In feature work, the first iterations of cockpit light amplification are also rolling out for select spacecraft. It's an exciting step forward in addressing one of the oldest struggles pilots have when flying or driving around the dark side of our planets and moons.
Dude, it looks so good.
And like most new features in Star Citizen, this will continue to evolve, improve, and expand to additional vehicles in subsequent patches.
Yeah. That's my only real gripe with it, is just that it's not on all the ships yet.
And look at all the different colors.
They did such a great job with it. I like the different colors too. It just
And
gives a
speaking
little
of the
variety.
oldest struggles, the Aurora, classic ship from RSI, heart of our original crowdfunding campaign,
Yeah, show the power plant on the top. Good job.
and most owned vehicle in the verse, is finally getting its gold standard pass in Alpha 4.6, bringing it to feature and function parity with today's latest and greatest for those pilots who enjoy flying a true Star Citizen classic.
Calling it a classic.
And alongside this, we're finally delivering many of those outstanding campaign paints to go with it, like the Pirate Paint, the Operation Pitchfork Paint, the South by Southwest 2015 paint, the Electro Hull paints, and more. For 4.6, these will be delivered exclusively to those OG backers who earned them by supporting the original campaign, but may become available in limited supply later this year if there's enough interest. I suspect
Is there anything that ever stays rare ever? Like, is there ever any, like, you were here in that moment, so you have it things? CIG never does that stuff.
you can let us know on Spectrum, Reddit, and social. And in additional
I haven't seen the red one in game. It looks
content stuff,
really good.
those cool holographic skull helmets we came up with so long ago are finally being delivered to our development subscribers. I'm excited because I've been wanting to recreate that, that Skeletor meme on social with it since we first unveiled it. There should be memes here, unless we couldn't think of any. There's also offerings from everyone's favorite band who, look, it's the only Banu you know, technically, who has these nifty new armor and weapon.
What do you think of the skins? It looks like fucking rust. What the fuck?
Variants available as well.
Not my preference, but I'm sure it's somebody's. But this shit looks like that looks so much like rust. It's crazy.
And the debut of the upcoming RSI Hermes, which you'll see fully and learn more about next week.
Okay. So it'll be a behind the ships next week then. Cool.
But as we said at the top of the show, 4.6 doesn't stop when it releases next week. That's because about 2 weeks after that, we'll see the unlocking of new faction-based introductory and advanced mining and salvage missions to better guide new players through the two popular professions, as well as provide additional opportunities to existing players.
I want to hear that again. Sorry.
Next week. That's because about 2 weeks after that, we'll see the unlocking of new faction-based introductory and advanced mining and salvage.
Introductory and advanced. I have not seen advanced in the PTU yet. I've only seen introductory. So, okay. Has anyone seen advanced? I've done a bit of grinding on the missions
to better guide new players through the two popular professions, as well as provide additional opportunities to existing players. There's our annual Koromor event that encourages folks to spend their lives in the verse with...
Oh, new Koromor armor. Okay. That's crazy looking armor, by the way.
Someone special, and it arrives with a host of goodies to acquire. Red Festival returns with its super cool red and gold paints, as well as new decal or not variants for those who...
Decal or not variants. Interesting. That's an interesting way of doing it. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't like the red armor, but I love playing a rat in the game, and I kind of like the idea of having a rat on my ship.
Prefer a cleaner look to your spacecraft paints? Another limited time change to vendors like the recent pricing surge, but this time discounting vehicles sold through in-game shops.
Who's that spaceship mine?
And finally, another...
What the fuck? Guys, this is a salvaging mole. That's not a mole. That's not a mole, chat. That was a mole with the salvager arm on it.
In-game shops.
Who's that spaceship mine?
What is that? It's a soul. Yeah. That has the claw on it. But yeah.
And finally, another new ship with a familiar...
We've all been calling for it for years. How cool would it be if the mole also was a salvage version of the mole? The claw, though? Oh, the claw bothers me. It's got two RMC heads, and then it's got the claw.
Silhouette makes its debut weeks later in the 4.6 era. So what's it called and what's it do? Well, I'm not going to tell you. Because I'm not sure we're getting away with that whole, what's that spaceship mon thing. So come back in a few weeks to find out. Ultimately, 4.6 is the start of a new season of Star Citizen content that will continue to expand the story and gameplay of Nyx, the features and capabilities of the universe itself, and the continuing development of the project as a whole. And as far as shows like this are concerned, well, I'm happy to report that we're going back to weekly from now on.
Let's go!
So whether that's ISC, SEL, BTS, or whatever a particular episode is called, we'll be back with something to share each and every week that we can. I've missed you. And one of you sent me a giant wooden hammer. which kind of feels like a threat. But I'm going to try my best.
What the
See you
fuck?
next week.
Okay. So the big takeaway from this is the industrial missions that we have in 4.6 PTU right now are not going to be live on the launch of 4.6. It's going to be live after. 2 weeks after, and then we'll gather our rep for them. I will see how that happens. After credit stuff? No. Nothing after credits. So, interesting. Interesting. Love that ISC is going to be coming back weekly. Well, not ISC, but other things. There's also the In Case You Missed It sale that just popped up. Of course, right after ISC makes sense. Or during it. And that is just like a lot of the ships that were for sale last year. So I'll just scroll through them. That may not be always available on the shops. So if you want to make your gameplay less valuable, go ahead and buy some crap on the website, I guess. Go for some paints, though. I always encourage you guys to buy paints. There's a lot of paint packs here. So the In Case You Missed It on paints, I think is fine, I guess, as well. So there's some stuff there, which I might actually look through because I missed some paints that I would want, I believe, on some of these. Maybe the Paladin? Yeah. As far as I see, just the Paladin. But, yeah, there's some cool stuff there. But, okay. Let's see. That's interesting. But, ISC, in case you missed it, looks like it might be an interesting 4.6 how they're going to try and play it out here. We'll see. It's going to be a really different year. Let's see if the game can support what they're trying to do. I think that's the biggest question to start the year, with the patch every 2 months and then these like little eventy like things, which don't just include pricing surge type stuff. So that's cool. One of them was reducing the cost of in-game ships. That's super cool as well. So a lot of interesting ideas that they have. Yeah, they did not mention a wipe. They would have mentioned it, I think, at this point if they were going to have one. So don't assume wipe in 4.6. So money's no object. Just ask for it, I guess, and you'll get it. But obviously the event progress is the event progress. So that's going to be the big bit of content, and you're going to have 2 months to finish it. So anybody who's complaining about a super long grind, oh, that's going to be so difficult, it won't, because you have a really long time to do it this time. So shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, cool. ISC, BTS, or SCL every week that they can, he said. Fingers crossed, because it's always something joyous to look forward to every week. Is even if it's something that you didn't enjoy, I like looking forward to stuff. So it's exciting. Good news.